Hello everyone, if you're watching this video, that means that the new year has passed. Congratulations to all of you for surviving another decade, actually, another year. This was the end of the decade. And initially I was thinking of doing some major video where I would talk about my top 10 favorite movies or something from the past decade, or top 10 favorite games, or just kind of pieces of entertainment in general, because I know that a lot of my content doesn't really have a derivative focus. I know that I do game highlights with my friends, I do movie reviews, I do game reviews, I do just kind of whatever I feel like putting out. There's no real definitive focus on this channel, and I think that with this new year, that is among one of the things that needs to change. See, I've been struggling a lot over the last year with the growth of the channel, because in 2018, when this channel first hit its popularity, I thought that this was really going to be going somewhere. And although I've met some incredible people and stuff along the way, it's definitely been a more retrospective kind of year. This year's been allowed me to look back and think of the things that I could be doing better. And I want to try and make that a possibility for the next year. And I also know that I have mentioned before that update videos are not a good idea. You don't ever do update videos unless they're major. And I kind of figured that this was a big enough update video to warrant another... Okay, no, it's not an update video. It's a kind of checking in on No, it's an update video. The reason why I think that doing them is usually a bad idea is because it communicates exactly what you're thinking to your subscribers, and that can be a bad thing in some ways where they know that they can't expect anything from you. And I really messed this up when I first made this channel, because by telling people that I would be gone for several months, I think the interest in the channel gradually dropped over time, and it just, never really picked back up. With all that aside, though, I am incredibly grateful for the people that I've been able to meet through YouTube, through this channel of mine, and the connections that I've been able to make with people just because I decided to make videos and put them on the internet. The people that do also comment on my videos down below here, and the people who still do care to tune in and watch my videos from time to time, I really do appreciate you people. I know it's a broken record YouTuber thing to say, like, oh, I appreciate you guys so much, but there's no YouTube channel without its audience. You can't really keep justifying doing something if you don't have anybody paying attention to what you're doing. And because it's kind of the measure of success that YouTube has, and because YouTube is very much based off of views and subscribers and always improving, it's kind of measured in that way. It's a bit, what's the word? Draconian, I think is the word I'm looking for. It's a bit draconian to look at it that way, and a bit harsh to view it that way, but when numbers are going up, that usually means that your thing that you're producing is on an upward trend, and that is a good thing because you always want to improve. So what is this about the next year? What are my new year resolutions, my new decade resolutions and everything? I think for starters, I want to be able to focus down on one specific kind of content most. I think that my channel was originally created to be, my channel here was originally created to be a reviewing channel. It was meant to review games mostly, and then movies if I ever felt like branching out into that. And I think that the people whom I show these videos to, whom I value feedback from, really do enjoy these kinds of videos. They don't all do incredibly well, but they're usually fairly consistent, and they're I think they're an example of me putting a ton of effort into a video, because they take a long time for me to make. I have to write a script, I have to make the script sound original, I have to make it sound different than what I've said before, I have to try and incorporate different angles on it, maybe even throw a few jokes in there if I want to, and find a specific thing about that game or movie, because that's the style of reviewing that I go for, to focus on and then expand on to then explain the rest of the movie through that angle. So, for example, I was starting to make a mega review of all the Star Wars movies. I decided to ultimately scrap it because I think everyone else is already doing that, so there would be no point, and I wanted to do something more original. And the Star Wars movie one that I was thinking about, the one thing that really, really stuck out to me in A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, or not Revenge of the Sith, as Empire Strikes Back and all those films, it was the contrast in how those ones were really more of just a kind of spaghetti western in space, and it was just, fun, a shootout of the good guys against the bad guys. And the newer movies kind of seem to have forgotten that they really are just kind of campy all around. There's nothing that really needs to be marketed or franchised or anything here, and yet because the film has become so iconic and so major across this franchise, I think it's hit this point where the film industries, instead of trying to make a film, they're trying to check off boxes to then fulfill something. Like, I could be reading off of a script and I could read it to you as plainly as possible. And yeah, I would say some valid things, but it wouldn't be interesting if I didn't put any personality into it, if I didn't inflect my voice a little, if I didn't try to emphasize different words differently or point out certain things in there. I don't want to be Disney, I think, is one thing. So that's what my next year on YouTube will be. My next year on YouTube will definitely be primarily focused on making reviews, and maybe some other content will come in here and there, but I think looking at this year with all the plans that I already have set up for different things, I don't know if I'll really have time to do anything else. And I think that might help my channel, because people will come here knowing to expect review videos instead of thinking, oh, he uploaded a game highlights. Well, I'm not here for game highlights. Or, oh, he uploaded a meme or whatever this time, and I'm not really here for the memes. I'm here for the interesting content. If he's just going to be throwing trash at us, then I might as well unsubscribe. I don't want to breed that kind of mentality on the channel. Secondly, and this is going to be a very big challenge for me, I need to stop complaining all the time. I tend to talk down on myself quite a bit, and there's this concept that if you speak negatively towards something, the less likely it is to grow. I mean, that is obvious, but I think there was some study done on plants where they would talk negatively to some plants, positively to others, and the ones that they talk negatively to actually did less healthy. I am a plant with more complicated emotions, basically, as some Instagram poster said once upon a time. And if I'm talking negatively to myself, then I'm not going to be growing anywhere. The last video that I made, the Terraria video, I said like, oh, my videos never get views. I was like, well, yeah, but I don't need to be so down on myself, because what I do make is damn good. I'm confident in what I make, and I think that my content is half decent. And I shouldn't be so down on myself all the time if I don't really believe it, because then it just leads everyone to believe that I just kind of hate myself. I mean, I do, but that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is that I don't want people to tune in and just hear me like, oh, look at me, I don't have any attention on the internet, because no one owes me anything on this website, because this is ultimately a hobby at the end of the day that I'm doing, and it's not for anyone. It's not for the sake of a paycheck, because God knows I've never been paid by YouTube at this point. And I just need to cut that habit out of my life. And I think a lot of that comes from self-confidence. Over the last couple of days, I've been working on, at the time of recording this video, this may go up later, but I've been really working on just trying to take little steps to improve my self-confidence and improve my overall mental health, and try to do things outside more and actually go out and improve my life. I used to be pretty fit. I used to be like a top goalkeeper for my football team and all that kind of stuff. And when I moved, I just kind of lost all that motivation and self-confidence, and not doing well in university in my first year really dragged on me. So I'm just taking little steps to get back into that, and part of that is also not complaining in my YouTube videos so much. And as for the bold and busy schedule, I was going to say big and busy, but I said bold for some reason. I guess it is bold. This year, I am planning to film a documentary. It is going to be like a historical biopic on a region in the United States. I'm not going to say specifically where, but it's this documentary that I've been wanting to film for the past couple of months now. I've mentioned it to a number of my friends and stuff, and this one friend who still lives in this area said that he would be down to help me film it with his professional camera and everything. So that will be this summer. Actually, I'm going in April to talk with him about some preliminary things and get some things set up for that. And then in July and August, I plan to go and film that documentary in its entirety. So those are kind of like my plans for those times. And in between that, so from January, starting January 6th, pretty damn soon, all the way to April, I'm going to be back in university. I want to get my degree. I'm going to be going into a degree for physical therapy, specifically athletic training and therapy. And I need to be fit for that, because you don't want to have like a physical therapist who's unfit. That would just kind of be a weird. It's like taking basketball lessons from someone that's shorter than you. It seems kind of odd when it's put into perspective that way. Or someone who, you know, hasn't been. I'm making up excuses at this point, but basically, like, I also want to get back in shape because I think it would just look better for the degree that I'm trying to go into. So with that all in mind, it's going to be busy for me. I might not be able to do this bi-weekly schedule that I've been keeping myself to. I might just do once a month, and I hope you guys are okay with that. But from here on out, I'm going to try to keep myself strictly to review videos. I'm going to stop complaining so much. I'm going to go out with these beautiful documentary plans, hopefully get that done. This will be going up. The documentary will probably be going up on my other channel, which is my own channel where I used to do comedy sketches and stuff. I will link that down below. So if you want to see some old cringe Fox from like 5 years ago, up until a year ago, and some stuff that just me and my friend recorded for a number of years, the link will be in the description below. That's like the origins of the stuff that I've done. So I hope you can see that I've come a long way in creating content. And finally, the background of this video is some Rainbow Six Siege footage. I bet you're probably wondering what that's all about. I decided as well to kind of do one of those challenges where starting on January 1st, I'll be playing Rainbow Six here and there. I'm going to be playing it in between other games while I get reviews out and stuff and do homework and all. But between January 1st and December 31st of 2020, I will not open a single alpha pack, and we'll do like a Happy New Year, end of the year alpha pack opening video, because that sounds like a fun time. And I think that is about all I had to say, aside from thank you guys so much for your support over the last year. I really do appreciate it. I'm so glad to have met some of you on YouTube here as well. If you're watching this video, you probably know who you are. And I hope you guys continue to watch my stuff, because I'm ready to kind of dedicate myself to being better, basically, for this next year. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all stick around the next year, and I will see you on the flip side. Goodbye.